In 1993, a young Jay Cutler entered the Teenage Mr. Massachusetts competition. At the time, he was 19 years old, weighing around 185 pounds, and already showing a level of muscle maturity far beyond his age group. His frame was dense, his quads were already carving out the sweep that would later define his career, and his confidence was unshakable. For this debut, Jay's conditioning was tight, his posing controlled, and his symmetry clear. Even though the field had several talented young athletes, his combination of size and proportion made him impossible to overlook. The judges rewarded him with first place, marking the official start of his bodybuilding legacy. It was more than a teenage win. This was the moment Jay proved he could dominate a stage and draw all eyes to him. It also gave him a surge of momentum to enter the NPC circuit, where the stakes, the physiques, and the expectations were far higher. Jay Cutler's competitive journey began on a high note in 1993, when he claimed victory at the NPC Teen Nationals. This was the stage where a young Cutler first proved he could stand out among future stars. At only 20 years old, he was already displaying the structure, symmetry, and sheer size that would one day define his career. The NPC Teen Nationals is known for producing future legends, and Cutler's win cemented his place as one of the sport's top prospects. His physique in this debut year was far from the finished product, but the wide shoulders, balanced proportions, and rock-solid conditioning were already there. Fans and judges alike could see he was built for the pro ranks. This victory gave Cutler the confidence and recognition to continue climbing the amateur ladder, leading directly into his next steps on bigger stages. And it all started here with that first gold medal in his hands and a new fire in his eyes. This was the year Jay Cutler took a decisive step toward bodybuilding stardom. The NPC US Tournament of Champions was a prestigious event in the amateur circuit, attracting some of the nation's most promising physiques. Competing in the heavyweight division, Jay displayed the kind of balance and muscle maturity that made him stand out in a crowded field. Every pose told a story of disciplined training and relentless ambition. His quads carried deep, carved separation, his chest was full and round, and his back thickness left judges with little doubt about the winner. When the dust settled, Jay not only claimed the heavyweight title, but also walked away with the overall champion trophy. This victory was proof that Jay was ready to set his sights on the national stage. It also solidified his reputation as a competitor who could combine mass, conditioning, and stage presence in a way few others could. This victory was the defining moment of Jay Cutler's amateur career. Held in Dallas, Texas, the NPC Nationals brought together the best bodybuilders from across the United States, all competing for a chance to earn their IFBB Pro card. Jay entered the heavyweight division, showcasing a physique that combined dense muscle mass with razor-sharp conditioning. From the moment he stepped on stage, it was clear he was on a different level. His broad shoulders, narrow waist, and perfectly proportioned legs made him stand out in every pose. The judges awarded him the heavyweight title and, with it, professional status. For Jay, this was the official green light to step into the pro circuit, where legends like Ronnie Coleman and Kevin Levrone were dominating. This victory didn't just change his competitive status, it set him on the path to one day becoming Mr. Olympia. In the year 2000, Jay Cutler stepped onto the professional stage at the IFBB Night of Champions and delivered a performance that proved he belonged with the sport's elite. His balance of size and symmetry, paired with razor-sharp conditioning, earned him his first professional victory. This win was a turning point, transforming him from a promising contender into a genuine threat for the biggest titles in bodybuilding. It was also a statement to the judges and his fellow competitors that Jay Cutler had the tools, the work ethic, and the presence to compete with anyone in the world. The momentum from this triumph would carry him into a new era of success, setting up a legendary run of victories over the next decade. The Arnold Classic in 2002 was where Jay Cutler proved he belonged among the absolute elite of the sport. By this point, he had already made waves as a fast-rising pro, but stepping onto that Columbus stage meant going head-to-head with some of the most complete physiques in the game. His conditioning was razor-sharp, his muscle separation was crisp, and his trademark wide shoulders created that powerful V-taper fans would come to associate with his name. This victory was not only about the trophy, it signaled that Jay had the discipline to peak at exactly the right moment, something that separates champions from contenders. His stage presence had matured, and the combination of mass and symmetry he displayed that night earned him unanimous respect from the judges. The win also set up an important narrative that Jay was no longer simply a promising bodybuilder climbing the ranks, he was now a serious threat to the Mr. Olympia crown. In the spring of 2003, Jay Cutler walked onto the Arnold Classic stage with one goal in mind: to prove his victory the year before was not a one-time strike of fortune. He brought a refined package, tighter conditioning, fuller muscle bellies, and the same granite hardness that judges and fans had been buzzing about since his breakthrough. Every pose radiated confidence, his lats flaring wide, quads etched with deep cuts, and a chest that seemed ready to burst through the stage lights. When the dust settled, the trophy was his once again, making him a back-to-back Arnold Classic champion. In March of 2003, Jay Cutler stepped onto the stage at the San Francisco Pro Invitational carrying momentum from his Arnold Classic victory earlier that same year. His size, proportion, and razor-sharp conditioning set him apart from the lineup, leaving no doubt in the judges' minds. The San Francisco stage became another milestone in his dominant season, showing that he could peak multiple times within a short span. For many fans, this win solidified the idea that Jay was not only chasing Olympia greatness, but building a complete competitive legacy that would span continents and years. Later 2003, Jay took his talents to Europe for the Dutch Grand Prix, Competing against an international field, he brought the same commanding presence and muscle detail that had carried him to victory in the United States. This was not simply a repeat performance. It was a demonstration of adaptability, proving he could succeed against different styles of competitors and under varying judging standards. The Dutch Grand Prix win capped an extraordinary run in 2003, adding yet another title to a year that showcased Jay at his most consistent and unstoppable. In the fall of 2006, shortly after dethroning Ronnie Coleman at the Olympia, Jay Cutler traveled to Europe for a series of post-Olympia contests. One of the most notable stops was the IFBB Grand Prix Holland. The event drew a strong lineup, but Cutler's momentum was unstoppable. His size, conditioning, and stage control carried over from Las Vegas, making him the clear favorite. Fans in Holland witnessed the new Mr. Olympia dominate once again, proving his reign was no one-time achievement. This win added an international dimension to his title run and showed that he could perform at the highest level no matter where in the world he stepped on stage. It also served as a confidence boost heading into the remainder of his competitive season, cementing his position as the face of bodybuilding for that era. A second international victory in the same season, the Grand Prix Romania win reinforced that Jay was peaking at the perfect time. Coming off his Holland success, he carried unmatched conditioning and confidence into Bucharest, presenting a package that left the judges with little debate. The victory showed his ability to adapt to different stages, lighting, and judging panels while still delivering a winning look. This also win added to the momentum that would carry him straight into the most important contest of his life. This was the night everything changed for Jay Cutler. After spending 4 years as the runner-up to Ronnie Coleman, he finally broke through and took home bodybuilding's most coveted prize, the Sandow Trophy. His physique in 2006 was sharper, fuller, and better conditioned than ever before. Judges and fans alike agreed that this was the year Jay put all the pieces together. Symmetry, mass, and conditioning in perfect balance. It was a historic moment as Jay ended Coleman's 8-year reign, a feat many thought was impossible. And from this point on, the title of Mr. Olympia had a new name on it, and Jay's long pursuit of the crown had finally paid off. Defending the most prestigious title in bodybuilding is harder than winning it the first time, but Jay Cutler delivered. Coming off his breakthrough Olympia victory the year before, he faced fierce competition from up-and-coming stars and veteran contenders hungry for redemption. Jay brought a refined package to the stage, maintaining his trademark size while sharpening his conditioning, a combination that left little doubt among the judges. His ability to hold on to the Sandow proved that his 2006 win was no temporary fluke. By standing tall once again under the bright lights of Las Vegas, he joined the ranks of athletes who could dominate on bodybuilding's biggest stage 2 years in a row, solidifying his legacy as a champion with both power and staying power. After losing the Olympia crown in 2008 to Dexter Jackson, Jay Cutler returned with a physique that shocked the entire bodybuilding world. He came in sharper, fuller, and with a presence that demanded attention from the first moment he stepped on stage. This was the year of his legendary quad stomp pose, a moment burned into the memories of bodybuilding fans worldwide. Judges rewarded his improved conditioning, perfect symmetry, and undeniable stage dominance. By reclaiming the Sandow, Jay became one of the few men in history to win the Olympia after losing it, a feat that added a unique layer to his legacy. This victory silenced critics, reignited his career momentum, and positioned him as the man to beat once again. The win also set the stage for his final push toward a 4th Olympia title the following year. In 2010, Jay Cutler walked into the Olympia with the mindset of a champion who had nothing left to prove, yet still something to defend. The rising star Phil Heath was closing in fast, bringing an aesthetic and fullness that had the bodybuilding world buzzing. But Jay answered with his trademark size, razor-sharp conditioning, and stage presence that commanded attention from the moment he posed. His shoulders were broad as a doorway, his waist stayed tight, and his legs looked carved from stone. When the dust settled, Jay claimed his 4th Sandow, securing back-to-back titles and putting a definitive stamp on his era. This win would be his last Olympia crown, closing out a career chapter that left him firmly among the sport's legends.